If you would continue with that, with religion as you identify and as you define it today, you may drown. But if you take that knowledge, unveil it, you will continue to cross the river safely to the other shore. I can promise you that. For the ancient people, the wise man, everything is alive. For us too. A table lives, a spoon lives. Everything that you see is a God in manifestation. We can only understand that if we know that what a monad is, and we will come to that. So the goal of the Book of Light, or let me say first, everything that you are aware of, the entire universe, is the sum total of all beings there are, visible and invisible. And now comes something that may, you see, I say the Book of Light is shocking, radical, something more radical even. But sooner or later I have to say it. First of all, we are no atheists, that's clear, yeah? In the sense of an atheism. We say everything is divine. Divinity, manifestation. Good. Now, there's something else. How many beings are there in the universe? What do you think? I say only one. One. We name it Adam Kadmon. We live on the atoms and molecules of the body of Christ, or the other name, Adam Kadmon, of a being. That being rests or is active. There's nothing else. Of course, there still is that from which the being comes and into which it returns, that state of being. I know that's radical now. That's radical. Give an example. The planets that you are aware of are nothing but atoms and molecules of the body of a being. If you would enlarge the core of an atom to the size of Earth, the next particle, electron let's say, would be where the moon is. Therefore, we live on the atoms and molecules, those are cosmic atoms, of a cosmic being called Adam Kadmon. In the same way, on the molecules and atoms of our own bodies are sentient, conscious beings who have their existence, who may see us as God, worshipping us, not knowing that we are per se an imperfect, because transient, being in manifestation. Who may fathom it? May fathom it. And this is why there is no Big Bang and Big Crunch, as I already said. There is no absolute beginning, because a 5-year-old could come to a scientist who said that's when the Big Bang was, could ask what was before there. But if you say there's a reawakening of powers, that makes sense. To be continued. If there's a continuation of existence, yes, that makes sense. So there is a relative beginning and a relative ending, in the same way as we go to bed at night, next morning we stand up. But if you want to talk about the source, the origin of everything that is in you, give you an example. Science is paid zillions of dollars by finding the origin of the universe. Now, I can spare you all that money, and you can use it to feed the every day 25,000 children are starving, dying of hunger. You can use that money to feed the children, because I will answer you, where's the origin of the universe? In you. And no matter how far out into the so-called universe they drive, they always drive away from it. Who may fathom it? Who can fathom it, may fathom it. Origin of everything is in you. This is why everything evolves from inside, outside. All has a common source. But it's nowhere out there. It's in there. And since we all come from the one source, call it whatever you want, then it must be found in us, in meditation. So we from the Book of Light don't worship a god or anything else. We are all divine beings in manifestation. We have, of course, great honor, revere. We reverence, we revere the masters, the high monads, the high beings, the Elohim, the Chohan, and so forth. But you see, we don't do it to the extent that we build walls between us and them, because we should become like them. If I worship always like the church wants it, to keep us nicely down. Oh, we are poor sinners, and there's God, there's Jesus. So, this is how the church keeps you enslaved, keeps you fine down there. You are unable to do anything. Jesus said in the Bible, "Be ye perfect as I am and my Father in heaven." And now comes the most radical sentence, could be compared to the Book of Light. And more. And more. Be more perfect like God. This is what Jesus said. Think about that. That one deity is absolutely, pervades the entire universe, we can say that, but absolutely impersonal. We have that being in us. It cannot be known anywhere. We can only be it. Empirically experience it. This is the so-called absolute. And in developing, we don't kneel down and worship like our dear Muslims do, and always worship Allah, and hope they are in some heaven. Yes, those heavens exist. But you know what, dear Muslims? You must become like Allah. This is the goal, and you will sooner or later come to that conclusion. And in us is this inner urge and drive. We want to know that, and until now religion was wonderful, but we are still dissatisfied, dear friends. More and more people are still dissatisfied. This is where the time is right for the Book of Light. Book of books, Savior of mankind. And then you understand the Buddha who said, work out your own salvation. Your own salvation.